Hamza, Hamael, and Azlaan, a tale of nobility and village life. In the heart of Pakistan's Punjab province lay the picturesque village of Noorabad. Surrounded by lush green fields, towering mountains, and dense forests, Noorabad was a haven of natural beauty. A crystal-clear pond shimmered at the village's edge, reflecting the ever-changing patterns of the sky. The villagers, known for their warmth and hospitality, lived in harmony with nature, tending to their crops and livestock with dedication. In this serene village resided a family that was the epitome of virtue and integrity. The father, Ahmed, was a respected farmer known for his wisdom and fairness. His wife, Amina, was renowned for her kindness and culinary skills, often sharing meals with neighbors and travelers alike. They had 3 sons, Hamza, the eldest at 12 years old, Hamael, 10 years old, and Azlaan, the youngest at 8 years old. Hamza, the noble guardian, Hamza, at just 12 years old, was already showing signs of becoming a responsible and noble young man. Though still a child, his maturity and sense of duty were remarkable. He was tall for his age, with keen eyes that observed everything around him. Hamza's caring nature and unwavering honesty made him a role model for his younger brothers. Whether it was helping his parents in the fields or assisting the elderly villagers, Hamza approached every task with sincerity. Hamza loved exploring the village fields, learning about crops, and understanding the rhythms of nature. He enjoyed taking charge when his father needed help and often organized small tasks for his brothers, ensuring they contributed to the family's daily life. His kindness extended to everyone, be it helping a neighbor fix a fence or sharing food with a hungry traveler. Hamael, the compassionate caretaker. At 10 years old, Hamael was the most empathetic of the 3 brothers. He had a natural affinity for animals and took it upon himself to care for the family's livestock. Their small farm had a few sheep, a cow, some chickens, and a playful donkey named Motto. Hamael loved spending time with the animals, talking to them as if they could understand him. Every morning, Hamael led the sheep to graze in the nearby meadows, ensuring they stayed safe and well fed. He kept the cow's stall clean and collected eggs from the chickens with great care. Motto, the donkey, followed Hamael everywhere, braying happily when given a treat. The bond between Hamael and the animals was so strong that even the shyest creatures trusted him. Azlaan, the dreamer and storyteller. At just 8 years old, Azlaan was the family's little dreamer. He was full of curiosity and loved hearing stories about distant lands and brave heroes. Azlaan often spent his free time sitting by the pond, watching the clouds and imagining adventures. With a small notebook gifted by his mother, he would sketch and write little tales inspired by his surroundings. Azlaan's storytelling ability made him popular among Kurd.
Every evening they gathered around him to hear his latest stories about magical forests, talking animals, and daring explorers. His imagination knew no bounds, and he often involved his brothers in his creative world, turning ordinary days into exciting adventures. A day of adventure. One crisp autumn morning, as the golden hues of dawn painted the sky, the 3 brothers gathered for breakfast. Amina had prepared fresh parathas, served with homemade butter and honey. As they ate, Hamza said, "The weather is perfect today. Let's go to the forest and gather some firewood for the house." Hamael agreed enthusiastically. "We could also collect some wild berries. I've seen plenty of bushes near the forest's edge." Azlaan's eyes sparkled. "And maybe we'll discover something amazing, like a hidden treasure or a secret path." With their parents' blessing, the brothers prepared for their little expedition. Hamza took a small hatchet for cutting wood, Hamael carried baskets for berries, and Azlaan brought his notebook and a sling for protection, just in case. Into the heart of the forest. The forest near Noorabad was a magical place, full of towering trees, vibrant flowers, and the sounds of chirping birds. The brothers entered the forest, their excitement growing with each step. Hamza led the way, clearing branches with his hatchet when necessary. Hamael paused occasionally to listen to the rustling of leaves and spot small creatures scurrying about. Azlaan lagged behind, scribbling notes and sketching in his notebook whenever something caught his eye. After walking for a while, they reached a clearing filled with wild berry bushes. The bushes were heavy with ripe, juicy berries, their deep colors glowing in the sunlight. Hamael quickly began picking the berries, carefully placing them in the baskets. Azlaan helped, though he couldn't resist tasting a few along the way, much to Hamael's amusement. The hidden grove. As they finished gathering berries, Azlaan spotted a narrow path winding further into the forest. "Look, let's see where this path leads," he said, his voice filled with excitement. Hamza hesitated. "We shouldn't go too far. We promised to return before noon." "Just a little further," Azlaan pleaded. "Who knows what we might find?" Reluctantly, Hamza agreed, and the three brothers followed the path. After a short walk, they stumbled upon a hidden grove. A small waterfall cascaded into a clear pool, surrounded by wildflowers. The sunlight streaming through the trees made the entire scene look magical. "This is amazing," Azlaan exclaimed, his face lighting up with wonder. "It's like something out of one of my stories." The brothers explored the grove, each finding something to marvel at. Hamael spotted a family of deer grazing nearby, while Hamza tested the cool, refreshing water of the pool. Azlaan sat by the waterfall, sketching the scene and dreaming up a new story. An unexpected encounter. Just as they were about to leave, they heard a faint bleating. Just as they were about to leave, they heard a faint bleating sound. Following the noise, they found a lamb caught in a thorny bush. Its wool was tangled, and it was struggling to free itself. "Poor thing," Hamael said, kneeling beside the lamb. "It must have gotten separated from its flock." Hamza carefully used his hatchet to cut away the thorns, freeing the lamb. It looked up at them with wide, frightened eyes, bleating softly. "We can't leave it here," Azlaan said. "It's too young to survive alone." Hamza nodded. "We'll take it back to the village and see if anyone recognizes it." Hamael carried the lamb gently as they made their way back home. When they reached Noorabad, they learned that the lamb belonged to an elderly shepherd, Baba Karim. Overjoyed to have his lamb returned, Baba Karim thanked the boys profusely. "You are brave and kind-hearted," he said. "May Allah bless you for your good deeds." A lesson in unity. That evening, as the family gathered for dinner, they shared the day's adventures with Ahmed and Amina. Hamza said thoughtfully, "Today reminded me of how important it is to work together. We couldn't have done it alone." Amina smiled. "You boys are growing into fine young men. Always remember to be kind and look out for one another." Under the starlit sky, the three brothers felt a deep sense of happiness. Their bond, strengthened by their shared adventures, was unbreakable. Noorabad's beauty lay not just in its landscapes, but in the love and unity of its people, especially the three young brothers who called it home.